Hello everyone, welcome to Full Moon Movies. Peter Weir's Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World is a rare epic that manages to be both intimate and sweeping. A film that thrusts us into the Neapolitan wars at sea while never losing sight of the fragile human bonds that hold a ship together. At the heart of it all is Russell Crowe's Captain Jack Aubrey, a man equal parts tactician, leader, and performer, commanding loyalty through charisma and a deep sense of duty. Crowe captures the paradox of Aubrey, a confident to the point of arrogance, yet quietly haunted by the lives his orders place in danger. Opposite him is Paul Bettany as Dr. Stephen Motorin, the ship's surgeon and Aubrey's closest friend, whose reflective scientific worldview provides a counterbalance to Aubrey's martial instincts. Now, together, they give the film its soul, their friendship, a dialogue between war and peace, survival and discovery. Now, the opening battle sets the tone with brutal efficiency. Cannon fire tears through wood, men scramble to hold the decks, and the sea itself feels like an enemy. What impresses most is how Weir and cinematographer Russell Boyle captures these battle scenes not as a grand spectacles but as a suffocating, chaotic realities. The camera doesn't shy away from gore, nor does it linger on it for its effect. Instead, it draws us into the confusion and terror of men fighting in smoke-filled corridors where every decision can mean life or death. Later, when Aubrey's ship pursues the French vessel Akron around Cape Horn, the storm sequence becomes one of cinema's most visceral portrayals of nature's indifference. Waves tower like walls, ropes snaps, and men vanish into the ocean. Now those moments that leave the audience gripping their seat. Yet Master and Commander isn't only our combat. Its brilliance lies in the quieter scenes, where sailors gathering to sing by lantern light, muttering, marveling at rare birds on the Galapagos Islands, Aubrey playing duets on violin with his friend. Now these interludes reminds us of the humanity that persists even aboard a vessel designated for war. Now it is in these moments that the film's deeper themes emerge, which is the pursuit of knowledge against the backdrop of violence, the fragile balance between authority and camaraderie, and the question of what it means to lead men into peril for the crown and country. The production design is extraordinary. The HMS Surprise is both a character and a prison recreated with painstakingly authenticity down to the creak of timbers and the cramped sleeping quarters. The film immerses us in the rhythms of naval life, like the discipline, rituals, punishments, and small acts of rebellion. The crew are not faceless extras, but a living community from midshipmen barely in their teens to weathered old salts. When tragedy strikes, as in the loss of young Blakeney's arm early on, the impact ripples through the entire ship, making every victory and loss feel earned. Russell Boyd's cinematography, which won an Academy Award, deserves every bit of praise. Natural light dominates the interiors, the candles and the lanterns casting warm but limited glows, while the exteriors embrace the harsh blues and greys of the ocean. Now, this choice grounds the film in a tactile realism that makes the 19th century world feel immediate. Richard King Oscar's winning sound design is equally vital, like the cannon blast shake the room, wood splinters in sharp cracks, and even the faint rustle of sail fills the soundscape with texture. Coupled with the Eva Davies and Christopher Gordon's music, anchored by authentic period compositions, the film achieves an atmosphere that is both epic and intimate. For all its power, Master and Commander carried a critique that has followed it since its release, that it actually moves slowly, lingering on the quiet rhythms of the shipboard life instead of racing from battle to battle. Now, viewers expecting a traditional Hollywood adventure packed with constant action found the pacing deliberate, even heavy. Now, but that choice is also what gives the film its weight. Weir wasn't aiming for spectacle alone. He wanted to immerse us in the camaraderie, the discipline, and the silence that makes those bursts of violence matter. For some, it's too measured. For others, it's the difference between a passing adventure and a film that stays in memory. Now, at the box office, the film earned just over $200 million worldwide against a production cost of around $150 million. Now, by blockbuster standards of the time, it was viewed as underperforming, overshadowed by The Return of the King in the same season. Yet, what it lacked in financial dominance, it gained in critical respect, securing 10 Academy Award nominations and winning for cinematography and sound editing. Now, over time, it has shed the label of a financial disappointment to stand as one of the most admired naval epics ever filmed. The ending is understated yet perfect in this movie. After capturing the French ship, Aubrey realizes the enemy captain has escaped under disguise, forcing him to order the surprise back to the sea. It's a reminder that duty is never finished, that the endless chess game of war allows no true closure. But within this endless lies the endurance of the crew, and the friendship between Aubrey and Maturin is the film's true victory. Now, seeing the film in 4K UHD on Steelbook makes the experience even more immersive. The native 4K transfer approved by Peter Weir reveals the textures that were once blurred, the weathered wood of the surprise, the sheen of brass instruments, the salt worn into the sailor skin, and so on. Now, the HDR10 and Dolby Vision enrich the contrast, giving the storm sequences an intensity that makes you feel the spray, while the candlelit interiors glow with warmth that enhances Boyd's natural light aesthetic. The grain is preserved, making the image cinematic rather than artificially smooth. The Dolby Atmos soundtrack expands the already Oscar-winning sound design, cannon firing erupting with the chest-rattling impact and the creak of ropes and rigging enveloping you from every corner of the room. Now, when it comes to the sound, there are some critics in regard to the bass. For example, the 4K Dolby Atmos mix, which is more refined and controlled, possibly intentionally reduced to prevent overpowering dialogues. Now, some may feel it lacks the deep, powerful impact of the original for the action sequences, which were the DTS HD mix, which had a deeper, more powerful and visceral bass during cannon blasts and battles. Now, that is considered by some to be more exciting for action scenes. But nevertheless, if you have a plain soundbar or even a simple hi-fi, that would be good enough for this current 4K release. The Steelbook packaging itself is a collector's prize, embossed in artwork of the surprise under full sail, with this art and inserts that reflect the film's grandeur. Supplements carry over earlier releases, including insightful behind-the-scenes documentaries, interviews with Weir and Crowe, and the featurettes of the painstakingly naval reconstruction. I really like the entire artwork on the Steelbook, both at the front and the back. Now, 2 decades on, Master and Commander remains a singular achievement. It captures the naval warfare with authenticity unmatched in modern cinema, but more importantly, it captures the human cause of command and the fragile bonds that hold a community together at sea. In conclusion, the movie resonates with us today as it expresses about a man leading with conviction while wrestling with doubt, and about friendship and resilience forged in the harshest conditions, where values that feel as urgent now as they did 200 years ago. Now, this movie is a must-watch.